Morning everybody, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. This morning I'm going to be reacting to a video requested by Zafarak. It's called, let's see here, Vault of Memory Compilation, The War Within, made on the Noble 87 YouTube channel, not Nobel. Noble 87 YouTube channel. It's going to be on the Warcraft Monday reaction playlist card, so if you guys want to check out my previous reaction to other World of Warcraft's content created by YouTubers, remember that the reaction playlist card is going to be at the top right here, Warcraft Monday. And if you want to check out the original video as well as Nobel 87 YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone. I've had a request.
Long time, long time since I've come here to Noble 87. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've watched anything from his channel. So yeah, hello.
Put all the cutscenes of the memory archives into one video. For those who want to know about the history of Beladar, the Titans, the story that's running in the background. So for those, I hope you'll enjoy.
Conversation initiated.
The great Titan Khazgaroth, who granted me the gift of the Forge, has relayed information from the Pantheon about our purpose.
Or about the Titan Keeper, the Keeper's purpose. Okay, all right.
To create order from the chaos of the cosmos, the Titans search the great dark beyond for the Prime World Soul. This World Soul, the most powerful in existence, they would guide to become the greatest Titan of all. In time, they came to sense a mighty presence within the world called Azeroth. The Pantheon made their way to the nascent World Soul, hoping that their search was at an end.
Amazing. It's as though Keeper Arcadus was delivering the word of the great cause.
Hold on. Keeper Arcadus. Heaedas. Okay. Hopefully I got it right.
Garoth himself. These logs must be the architect's personal records of everything. I wonder how many more we can recover.
I know of Arcadus from my studies in Khazmodan. But this world soul he speaks of? Here on Azeroth? Do you think that's what Granda Magni was hearing all those years when he was a speaker?
I am...
Yes, definitely. It's what he's hearing right now. Well, wait, didn't he revert back to being a normal human being? Not normal human being, but dwarf. So, okay, maybe he's not really having that communication with Azeroth anymore. But yes, when he was still in his crystal form, he definitely was having direct communication with Azeroth. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't talking to Azeroth, but Azeroth was talking to him in a very cryptic manner. Yeah.
Not sure what significance this might have for my people, or my purpose. But I have faith in the Titan's plan for us.
I would not trust gods. I think maybe this is me being tainted by Warhammer 40k. But, you know, any beings that you would consider as your gods, you should be wary of them. You should question them. You should not just follow them blindly, believing every single thing that they say and that they do is in the benefit of your existence. It's not that way. It's not that way. We've seen it before. with the Dragfear, how they loved Nartharion, but they never truly understood Nartharion. They never really saw the true Nartharion, that he saw them as tools. He saw them as tools of war. And, their entire world was shattered once they truly understood what they were meant for. So I want to tell the Earthen the same thing, that, yes, you may trust in the Titans because they're your creators. Or was it the Keepers? I think it's the Keepers. But, and the Keepers were created by the Titans. But, be wary of these beings that would call you their gods. Be wary of these beings that would have this oversight over you. Because they will betray you if necessary. They will cast you out.
I attend to the archive.
On Azeroth, the Pantheon sensed a powerful source of corruption.
The old gods.
To protect the World Soul, they sent us, the Keepers, to lead the Titan-forged forces into battle. In time, we rooted out and defeated the threat, imprisoning its last vestiges in the deep places of the world. Then, led by Aman'Thul himself, the Titans set towards studying the soul of Azeroth, to determine whether it truly was the one they sought. To aid the Titans, we Keepers were tasked with engineering the Manifold, a vast world-spanning complex of machines, forges, and installations. Working in tandem, they would bring order to Azeroth, and create a means by which the Pantheon could examine the world's soul in depth.
But also it's meant as a forward operating base should anything happen in terms of, the old gods coming back, or maybe even the Burning Legion beginning their invasion on Azeroth. They would be the forward operating bases. They would be the first line and the last line of defense for Azeroth.
That corruption the Keeper's talking about, that's the old gods. That must be why they were here as well, for the power of the World Soul. Though I've also read that while the Titans defeated the old gods, they tore a wound in the world. Always thought that was just a metaphor.
It seems clear now that Azeroth must be the prime World Soul. That would explain why the Void, the Titans, the Legion, every cosmological force have sought to control it or destroy it over the eons.
Yep.
What do you suppose the Titans needed to study about it?
We cannot possibly understand the intricacies of the Titans' reasons. But that complex Arcadus mentioned, I believe I know what that is about. Directive?
At the Titan's command, we Keepers began the acclamation. Each installation, all linked to the Manifold, produced vast numbers of Titan-forged workers. We fired the great forges to fuel the acclamation and empower the Manifold to heal the ravaged world. Then began construction of the Coreway, a direct channel to the heart of Azeroth.
I don't think I've actually seen this structure, the Coreway. I don't think I've seen it. I've heard of it, but no, I don't think I've seen it.
That would allow the Titans to study the world's soul without harming it. However, as we delved deeper, We encountered certain obstacles, colossal crystals, which we came to realize were calcified chunks of the world soul's essence. They are of great power, and I wonder how many yet remain undiscovered beneath the earth, all over the world.
So there's many more of these crystal-like structures. I've seen them in the expansion. Well, one in particular, not many others, just one. Yeah, okay.
By word of the great Khazgaroth, the Titan's research has revealed that Azeroth's world soul is indeed the Prime. Our purpose may yet be fulfilled.
Enormous, powerful chunks of world soul essence. Do you think Beladar and Halifal could be one of them?
Potentially. But it was never within the scope of our edicts to study the crystal.
He mentions the Titan Forge making the coreway. Did you know it was built to study the world soul?
We were created for the great purpose of serving the Titans, and thus we built it. Its purpose was irrelevant to us. We fulfilled our edicts dependably, and we have strived to do so throughout the millennia, despite Kaz Algar facing many setbacks.
Setbacks? What do you mean?
Long ago, the continents of the world split apart, and the machinery that powered our facility was damaged.
Oh, the Cataclysm with Naltharion? No. It was during the Great Sundering, right? Yes, the Sundering of Azeroth.
Cut off from the Manifold.
Because that's when all land masses on Azeroth were just one giant supercontinent. And when the Sundering happened, that's when that entire supercontinent was just shattered into pieces, and thus we have the present day Azeroth with the different continents and islands, that are dotted across the surface. Yeah.
We were unable to repair the connection. We operated on auxiliary power for a time, but eventually it ran out, and we fell into disarray.
And with no keeper to direct your efforts, you were not leaderless, but you were on autopilot. And on your autopilot, you began to evolve into your own people. Yeah. Of course, you're still following these edicts from the keepers, but, you've slowly become your own people.
That must have been the Sundering. It's miraculous that any of this survived intact.
The machines must be preserved.
The great Khazgaroth revealed to me that the corrupting influence of the imprisoned old gods was affecting the world soul. To protect it, we had the Earthen construct the World Core, a vast chamber at the heart of the world. There, the world soul will slumber, with only the Titans to influence it.
I mean, that kind of seems like it's a prison. A very beautiful prison, but it's still a prison. You are encasing Azeroth in a prison, in a gilded cage. And Azeroth is awake, she's alive, or it's alive. It's aware, it's self-aware of its surroundings. It's self-aware that, that it exists on a planet. Or else it would not be communicating with people on the surface. Especially during the events in this expansion, the War Within. So you can imagine Azeroth is aware, and the Earthen are encasing it in this gilded cage.
I must note a disturbing development. As they worked to greater depths, some Earthen began to behave erratically. This could not be countenanced. most units were repaired and continued their work.
He calls them units. Earthen. The Earthen are nothing more but tools. You may love your keeper, you may love the Titans, but you gotta know your place with these guys. You are tools. You are units.
But some began to physically change and crystallize. They named themselves Thragar.
Wait. It's in the sub-speech bubble here. Maybe I can get the proper Thragar. Okay. Like Magni. Because Magni also transformed into some sort of like crystal life form. But of course now he's reverted back. Okay. Let's go. Let's continue.
These faulty units were so greatly affected that they rebelled against us, attacking and damaging the world core.
Oh, were they corrupted by the void? Or, I mean, by the old gods, I mean?
In the course of studying them, it was determined that long exposure to the world soul's energies led to the changes exhibited in their core directives.
So the power emanating from Azeroth is transforms them into this crystal version of the Earthen. And these crystal versions, what are they called? The Thragar, are now attacking the Earthen and the Keeper and the facilities.
If we cannot prevent this from happening, it will prove catastrophic to not only the world core, but to the manifold itself. Measures must be taken.
I do not recall this happening. That should not be. This world core seems as if it was a monumental undertaking. And the Earthen malfunctioning? How would the world soul's energy cause that? This is very confusing.
What I want to understand is why are they attacking the facilities and the world core? Why are they attacking it? For what purpose? Because when Magni was in his crystal form, he didn't have this sudden urge to want to go down into the underground and head directly to the world core and try to destroy it. And if the energy emanating from Azeroth has transformed these Earthen into these crystal structures or crystal life forms, the Thragar, then is Azeroth manipulating them in some sort of way, directing them to do her bidding? Because like I stated before, Azeroth is in a gilded cage. Azeroth is aware. And I don't think Azeroth wants to be kept in a prison, even if it is for her own safety, in the opinion of the Titans, because you know the Titans have their own mission and goals in trying to covet the world soul on Azeroth, or should I say Azeroth? You know, yes, they have their ambitions for coveting Azeroth, just like the Void. You know, just like the old gods coming to corrupt Azeroth. All of them have their own agendas with the world soul, but no one has spoken about the world soul and its needs and its desires and what does it want to do. So maybe because of that, the lack of communication, this is the only way the world soul can free itself from these forces that continue to want its attention or to want its power.
By the way, what does he mean by repaired?
Unclear. But what he said about the Thragar rebelling is most disturbing.
The Thragar? That's what they called Granda when he first got to Kazalgar.
We regard them as legendary champions, almost demigods. To learn that their directives were just corrupted, that they were anomalies? Was everything we believed mistaken? Or even a lie?
Definitely it's fabrication, but why? Why was this fabricated? Why were you told something that was not true? Who is protecting who? And for what purpose? Was it the Keeper? Was he the one who made sure that this vital information would be altered to make the Thragar not as threats but as heroes of the Earthen people?
Wait. You don't suppose... If the Earthen were affected by the World Soul's radiation, the closer they got to it, could it be that it was actually trying to reach your people? Asking for help, like it did with my Granda, and undoing their directives? Was it actually giving them free will?
I
don't know about free will, because they're still under the influence of another being, and that is the World Soul, that is Azeroth. Azeroth is commanding them or directing them to destroy the world core. So that is still them being commanded by another sentient life form. Those Earthen who are the Thragar, yes, they were free from the influence of the Titans and the Keepers, but now they're under the control of Azeroth. So they weren't truly free. You know, they weren't truly, free of their own existence and right to exist and have agency over their own lives. They were still being manipulated.
do not know. What is your query?
With the danger posed by the rogue Thragar, the great Amon Thul ordered the rebellion to be quelled, and the Thragar hunted down until the threat was neutralized. However, the issue of Earthen malfunction under the influence of the World Soul's energies remained.
He said malfunction. He's calling you guys units. He's saying that you guys have a malfunction.
And so a new solution was devised. The Earthen of Kaz-Algar will relinquish their memories into an archive to preserve recorded data and purge the influence of the World Soul's energies. By initiating this protocol on a regular cadence, we will ensure the Thragar malfunction does not take hold again. To secure compliance, the Titans have programmed edicts into the operational Earthen to regulate and enforce their discrete functions and efficiency. Thus, the Earthen will maintain the integrity of the Coreway and the machines of Kaz-Algar. Should the edicts be broken, more permanent failsafes have been set into place.
More permanent. What does that mean? You're being a bit too vague there. What's his name? Keeper Arcadus. Explain it to us in detail. What do you mean?
With these difficulties behind them, the Titans have declared that the World Soul remains, dreaming, safely contained within the World Core, where no harm will come to it.
And that's the thing. Azeroth is not dreaming. Azeroth is not dreaming. It's awake. I think it's been awake for some time, for a very long time. I think the moment when the Earthen finally reached the core, it was aware that it was being watched. It was aware that it was being studied and probed. And it saw that probably as a threat.
I do not know why I commit this information to the archive, why I risk its discovery in the future. Perhaps the World Soul's influence does not extend solely to the Earthen.
I see that being a possibility. And if that is true, it's good that you documented all of this information, and no one else, none of the other keepers got a whiff of it.
What we've learned here, it calls the entire history of Azeroth into question. What if our history isn't what they said it was?
So the Keepers stole our memories and let us believe that it was for our own good? That it was so we could continue to fulfill our purpose? No, not even our purpose. We built the greatest structures the world has ever seen, and they set us to become maintenance drones. Just cogs in a machine.
Yes, that is exactly what you are to them. Just like the Drakthir that were created by Neltharion, they were tools of war. You are tools of engineering and maintenance for the Titans and their plans. And the middle management of all of this are the keepers. They are the middle management who then control the rest of the employees in this business. Yeah.
And it does seem that they did it to keep you complacent, obedient, following their edicts, and eliminating those of you they couldn't control.
Those edicts, they were bonds of servitude, and we never even knew. And then when the Sundering happened, we were cut off from all of it. And Arcadis never returned to help us. Why didn't he return? Our entire history, our culture, held in that archive. I want my memories back. I want all our memories back. Damn the Titans.
I'm starting to think there's more to the World Soul than the Titans wanted us to know. That they had other plans for it, and Azeroth, than we were led to believe.
Be careful on the path you guys are taking. Not a lot of people can know about this information. Keep it very close, keep it very tightly locked up with the very most important people in the Horde and the Alliance. And I don't know about the Dragonflights, you know. I honestly don't know about. I don't know if I can truly trust them with this type of information, because they too also loved the Keepers. They believe in Keeper tier, and they believe in the Titans. So I'm not really sure about the Dragonflights, but with everybody else on the world of Azeroth, yes, the very most important people, they can know about this information, but don't act on it just yet. I don't know how they're going to be able to do that and also deal with Xalatath, but with this type of information, they should just keep it to their chest for now, and when the time is right, I don't know when will that be. When the time is right, you act on this information and make sure that you have an army, because I can assure you the Keepers are going to come back. The middle management is going to come back to Azeroth with the full force of the Titans, saying that we're coming here to quell this rebellion by our tools, this rebellion by these lower life forms on Azeroth. They're trying to keep away the world soul from us. That's what the Titans are going to say. That we know better. We are doing this for its benefit, for your benefit, when that's not actually true. So keep it to yourselves until the time is right.
What if all of us, even Arcadis himself, have been deceived?
Yeah. Alright guys, that's it. That's it with the Vault of Memory compilation, The War Within, made on the Nobel 87 YouTube channel. Yeah, like I stated before, this information is very damning, especially when it comes to the Titans, when it comes to the Keepers. For a long time, we have seen them as the good guys. We have seen them as the protectors of Azeroth and its many species of life form on the planet. We've seen them being the protectors of the world soul. But little do we know the true intentions of the Titans, the true intentions of the Keepers. Okay, let me sidestep the Keepers. Let me go directly to the source, the Titans. They don't care about the life on this planet. They don't. They just see us as tools. Or not us, but you know what I mean. The life forms on Azeroth, they just see them as tools. They see them as a buffer zone or as a security measure to protect the planet from being corrupted by the Void or the Old Gods, or to be destroyed by the Burning Legion. And they would throw us under the bus. They would throw any species, any people on Azeroth under the bus to make sure that their world soul is protected. They already claim it as their own. They don't even consider the thoughts or the position of Azeroth itself. They don't even communicate with Azeroth. They don't even know that Azeroth is actually awake. Azeroth is talking to the people on the planet. They don't even consider that maybe Azeroth does not want to be interfered. It doesn't want to be influenced by the Titans, or should I say by the Pantheon, or by the Void or the Old Gods. They would rather do as they please, as they see fit, for their own gain, trying to mold this world soul into their perfect Titan that will come out one day. And as a result, if the world soul would become a Titan, the planet itself would crack and be destroyed as this new Titan is being born. These are things I think the Titans don't want to tell anyone about. They don't want any of the populations on Azeroth to truly understand what is their purpose for keeping this world soul safe. Not just because it's powerful, but because they have an end game with it. They want to make a new Titan. But in order for that to happen, the planet must be destroyed in the process of birth. And yeah, I just think that this type of vital information about the Keepers, about the Earthen, what was their objective, what was their mission, after being created, needs to be kept to themselves for the foreseeable future, for the time being, until the time is right, where it can be disseminated to the very important political heads across the planet, so that they all understand that Azeroth is on our side. Azeroth is protecting us. Azeroth wants to stay as a world soul. It doesn't want to become a Titan. It doesn't want to be on the side of the Titans. It doesn't want to be on the side of the Old Gods and the Void. It wants to be it wants to be a planet that nurtures life on it. And that is why it's calling out to these very important figures within World of Warcraft. It wants to be protected, it wants to be helped, so that it's not being influenced by, other forces. So Azeroth is on your side. The Titans, the Keepers, are not on your side. They have their ulterior motives. The Old Gods, they are not on your side. They have their motives. The Void is definitely not on your side. They have it has its own, objectives. The only people who are on your side, or the only entity that's on your side, is Azeroth itself. The others, you must just be wary of them. You must be suspicious of them. You must protect Azeroth from them. And I think this world core device, I think it has to be destroyed. I don't think Azeroth wants this thing, encasing it like this. I think it's a gilded cage that is, really just inhibiting the growth of Azeroth. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about everything that I've just said, but we'll see. All I'm saying is that don't trust these beings that would call you their god. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. The moment they're like, I am your god, no, I don't want to hear it. Alright, guys, that is it. Thank you again from Zafarak for the request, and also Nobel87 for the video. It's been really good. Remember, guys, if you want to check out the original video as well as Nobel87's YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. If you like my reaction, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos. Latest videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Bye-bye.